Five, four, three, two, one. Hello, everyone. Jim Biringer here, NHLRumors.com. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, official NHL Rumors. Back again with another analysis video. This time, the Edmonton Oilers do not match the offer sheets put forth by the St. Louis Blues. The Blues last Tuesday presented an offer sheet with two players on it, 2-year deals for Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. Broberg gets a 2-year deal, around $4.6 million, while Dylan Holloway gets a 2-year deal around $2.2 million. The Edmonton Oilers had 7 days to match them. They took their time. They were very, very patient, understanding what the cap was like for them down the road, something we'll get to in a little bit. And it's very rare to see these offer sheets because this is only the 10th one and only the third successful one since 2007. And it was well executed by Doug Armstrong, the Blues general manager. Used ruthless aggression, not to, hurt a team, but it's just a well executed 2-year offer sheet. Because look, if it was 1 year, the Edmonton Oilers will match it. But 2 years down the road, they got to be thinking, okay, what's our cap like? Because cap space is vital to contending teams, and they know it. The Blues, before they put forth these offer sheets, they trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins a second-round pick and a third-round pick, and that was the maximum compensation they needed for these offer sheets. And look, Doug Armstrong said it during his press conference. He said if his mother was the GM of the Edmonton Oilers, he'd still make the offer sheet, because there was a lot of reports out there saying that if Ken Holland was still there, his good buddy, he wouldn't have done it. Again, there were other reports out there. You have to wonder what Ken Holland knew, because reports out there, according to Bob Stauffer and others, that Ken Holland and management wanted these contracts for Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg done last year, and it seemed like the Oilers were willing to do around like $1.1 million for Broberg. He wanted more for the 10 games that he played in the playoffs, including all the games in the Stanley Cup final, which he looked really good in. Dylan Holloway played in the playoffs as well. He looked good as well. But again, it comes down to the Oilers not, putting forth a development plan for these guys, because they were up and down in the minors last year, weren't really handled too well. And now they lose two young prospects with a lot of potential. However, it was looking like they potentially could match the offer sheets, because they trade for Vasily Podkolzin from the Canucks. They move out Cody Ceci's salary to San Jose Sharks, and they get Ty Eberson. And you're like, okay, well, they're going to do it. And then they don't. And then Stan Bowman talks about how there's, they need cap space. They need financial space. It's about the long term. It's about the short term. And you look at down the road, 2025-26, well, Evan Bouchard needs a new deal. Leon Draisaitl needs a new deal. According to Derek Van Diest, covers the Edmonton Oilers, talks are progressing. Things are moving along nicely. Things could be done, by training camp. So that's very, very good. Stan Bowman, the new general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, wants to keep Leon Draisaitl. You keep him along with Connor McDavid. So if he's getting around $13.5 million, Evan Bouchard's going to get a bump from $3.5 million starting in 25-26. The Edmonton Oilers are already up against the cap the following year. Connor McDavid, due for an extension, new contract. So the Oilers are up against the cap. Now they save themselves $4.4 million in cap space. They can make moves at the deadline. Maybe they potentially go after Dante Fabro down in Nashville, because their defense definitely took a hit with no Broberg, no Ceci. And, they get younger. They've added insurance policies. But what they're doing is they're building around their guys of Hyman, around Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard. And guys are coming in and saying, hey, we want to play here. Look, they added Victor Arvidsson. They added Jeff Skinner. They kept Corey Perry, Adam Henry on short-term deals. And if they had kept Broberg, if they had kept, Dylan Holloway, and they, pencil pushed and, kept things close with Evan Bouchard and say, hey, we got to squeeze you here, maybe that doesn't do something for a guy who's a potential Norris Trophy defenseman. So I think that's something that they had to consider, and that's what Stan Bowman did. Again, former general manager Ken Holland was told last season and in his last season to get these deals done. Again, what did he know? What did he didn't know? There's going to be a lot of question marks around that. However, the Edmonton Oilers do not match these offer sheets now. Holloway and Broberg are members of the Blues. The Blues, again, could potentially be in the playoffs in a Central. They're still an older team, but they have a lot. They have 12 first-round draft picks now, and they get two young potential players on 2-year deals. Broberg's AAV is high, but if he lives up to the potential that we saw in the playoffs, that could be a major loss for the Edmonton Oilers, especially since they don't have too many prospects coming along. These are two young players that made some sort of impact, especially Broberg. So again, the Edmonton Oilers do not match the offer sheets presented by the St. Louis Blues. And now Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg are members of the Blues. This has been Jim Biringer, NHL Rumors. Please subscribe and follow along. Official NHL Rumors on YouTube. Take care and enjoy the offseason.